Hello and welcome to the second round of the IS2 World Championship here from a very sunny Silverstone circuit, the old layout here in Northamptonshire. The Silverstone circuit, of course, remodelled around 2010, which now features the new loop section. Of course, we will not be running this. Of course, we now have this old section which combines the brilliant tunnel, much more high speed, with Cops as the starting line. Last weekend, we saw Lucas Courtin snatch pole position and wins in both races, and he'll be looking to repeat that here as we get ready to start qualifying. Josh Crashwell will also be looking to get a win. He was denied in Bahrain after connection issues, well, game issues and other reasons. Okay, so we're now ready for the second qualifying session of the season. There will only be one session, unlike that we have seen in IS1. But simply it works with a 15 minutes, 10 minutes, sorry, session. And the lights will go green in a few moments' time. And this will determine the starting grid for race 1. Race 1 is a 22-lap feature race where the drivers must use, pit once. They do not have to use both compounds, however, as there is a glitch with the other compound where they become invisible. But the results from race 1 will then be reversed to form the reverse grid for race 2, which will be half-length sprint race here in Silverstone. And Josh Crashwell will be the first driver. Oh, I know he is not, actually. Stefan Gottwald has actually snuck out under our sensors. And Lucas Courtin also out on the track. Last time out, he won both races, and he might be looking for a bit of a gap because Stefan Gottwald is using a controller. And as you can see, the Tour avec Jules adverts on the side of the track in honour of the of Jules Bianchi after the sad news of his injury sustained in the Japanese Grand Prix. But at the moment, Lucas Courtin is the lone Frenchman in IS2, also racing in IS1 along with Josh, and he's getting a bit of a gap. Very sensible indeed from Lucas. After Bahrain, we were slightly concerned about the ability of these drivers, not because they're bad in any way. It's just that, well, they were a bit temperamental on the formation lap, let's say. But yeah, Lucas definitely looking strong, and he will start his lap now, riding down the start-finish straight into turn 1. Cops high speed, not quite flat out for the Frenchman, goes down into 6th gear now through this magnificent Maggots and then Beckett section, keeping the car committed and clean, and he's kept it on track so far. A little deep on the exit, now coming down to the hanger straight, and he's got to see what his top speed is like. Just coming into 7th gear now, let's just see what it's like. And he's going to hit the limiter at about 302 kilometers an hour, which is very respectable indeed. Now coming down towards this section, which would normally be the final sector of the new layout, but coming through Club now in a moment, and a lot of runoff area you can see here. Keep fighting Ayrton Klimo, the American kart racer, who is actually on the mend, I'm very happy to say. Well, from what I've heard anyway. Oh, Lucas Courtin, bit scruffy, and he loses it there. And he's got to continue with that lap, surely, because... maybe not. and Courtin abandons his lap. Meanwhile, Josh Cresswell now going through that very same section. And is it going to be enough for him to snatch provisional pole? Well, it certainly should be, seeing as Stefan Gottwald is currently using a controller. Coming down through here, and yeah, this is where the loop section meets with the old part of the track. And there's Stefan Gottwald, who spins in the final corner. Perhaps he was getting out of the way, but is this provisional pole? Well, it certainly should be for Josh Cresswell, and he goes first with a 1:25.6. Fairly decent first lap, but he's on for another one now. Perhaps he thinks he can find some more time. Coming now towards Maggots and Beckett's again for the second time in this session, and carrying some very nice speed through here. Josh certainly looking for a win, and oh, he runs a bit deep, but I don't think he put all four wheels off the track, so he should be safe there. I was more worried he would hit the curb and lose it completely, but he saved that brilliantly. He's off the racing line coming into Stowe, which is a bit odd. I don't know if that's lag, but now coming down. Let's just see where Lucas Courtin is. He's coming through the final few parts of the track now as Josh makes his way towards the tunnel in a few moments' time. Down this back straight. Let's just see the straight line speed of Cresswell. And I'd imagine they're running reasonably similar setups. I don't know how much these guys practice, seeing as IS2 is a feeder division as Cresswell breaks traction but keeps it on the road. It does look like a reasonably clean lap from the Zero Junior driver. But, oh, he runs so deep onto the gravel. He's got to keep it on the road, guys. And he stays on. I don't know if he made a mistake. Is he cutting or abandoning? What's he doing? Oh, he's just letting Stefan through. And that will obviously not be a quick lap. Stefan Gottwald, has he got any time? No, he hasn't. But Lucas Courtin, currently on a hot lap. Oh, Stefan Gottwald goes second with a 1:28. Not bad, actually, considering that he's using a controller. Provided he finishes, because these guys often make mistakes. Now, coming down the back straight, let's just compare the straight line speed of Courtin and Cresswell. And, ooh, Courtin perhaps carrying slightly more. Coming through here. Let's see if he gets a clean exit, and he does. Definitely an improvement for Lucas Courtin coming into this final sector now, and he's got to get the balance right. Blasting through here. Here's where Cresswell locked up. Lucas Courtin, race winner in both races in Bahrain. Can he repeat it today? Coming through the last corner now, and is Lucas Courtin gonna snatch something away from Josh Cresswell? And he takes pole, just by the skin of his teeth. Great lap from Courtin. Josh, wow, only 100th of a second. Brilliant. And it just shows you how close these two are. As Josh now, through the final sector he goes. He cannot afford a mistake this time round. Is he going to keep it clean? I don't know if he's had a mistake earlier in the lap or if this is timed. But Josh Cresswell certainly under pressure. These two are close, and just like in Bahrain, we're going to expect a real battle. Now coming towards the line, is this going to be enough for Josh Cresswell? Is it pole? And it is! Again, only tiny improvement, and by the merest, tiniest of margins, Cresswell back on pole. This is a brilliant battle between the Relentless and Zero driver academies. And now Courtin, oh, a bit sloppy through that. Gets a bit loose at the rear end, but it's still looking decent. Coming through this final section now. Courtin misses the apex, runs slightly wide, coming down into braking. And still decent job through here. All he needs to do is just keep it on the throttle. Keep little taps and thread it through. Now the final corner is Lucas Courtin going to respond to Cresswell's time, and he comes across the line, and it's another pole position for Lucas Courtin, on provisional pole I should say, and it's a 25.2. These guys are so close, and I think Courtin just slowing that because he thinks he's done enough. Either that, he's going to go for another run. Back to Stefan Gottwald in the Williams, or the Sony Samurai Warriors car, going through this final section. Oh, he gets it on the curb and loses it. And now Cresswell was going to go a bit deep there onto the gravel. Still staying on his lap, not abandoning it just yet. Hasn't lost hope. Now this long final corner, you've got to be really patient. It's so tempting to just stamp on the throttle and then lose traction consequently. And coming towards the line now is Josh Crashwell going to take pole? And not quite. Going through turn 1 now. 6th gear. Very, very fast corner. Almost flat out. We haven't seen these guys take it flat out just yet. But now coming through Maggots and then Beckett. Crashwell firmly planted on the throttle. 6th gear. Now 5th, 4th, 3rd. Now put the power down. Doesn't take too much curb. I was worried he was going to get a big wodge of it there. And now coming down the Hanger Straights. Into Stowe. Very quick corner. Lucas Courtin still setting the benchmark. And he will stay in the pit. So does Stefan Gottwald. It's all about Josh now. And what can he pull out in this final sector? And it's obviously not going to be provisional pole with that lap. And he abandons it. And he's not going to have time. He's not going to have time to do another lap. And Crashwell, yep, runs over the gravel. I've just seen. But wow, 3/10 is a reasonable margin. For a Courtin, over a quarter of a second. But, you know, we've seen them both make mistakes. So, it's going to be a very interesting battle regardless. Regardless. And Crashwell desperately tries to put another lap in, but he hasn't really got time. He went out with 1 minute and 25 seconds to go. So he'd basically have to do another qualifying lap and cut a bit of the track maybe, and I hope he doesn't. Because it's easy to cut corners here. There's Crashwell rides under the tunnel. He's got just 15 seconds now to cross the line, and in my opinion, I don't think he's going to make it in time. But still, it's an ominous state of intent from Josh. He's done everything he can, and he's out of time. Josh, you can't do a lap, and he backs off. So it's Lucas Courtin on pole position for the second time in IS2. Then it'll be Josh Crashwell in second place, and Stefan Gottwald in P3. Now we just briefly wait for the warm-up session and make sure everything running smoothly. But yeah, this should be a very interesting battle because Lucas and Josh, of course, are so close in all of the sessions so far. We've got a 22 lap race and then an 12 lap race, sorry. Still all to play for. And I was about to touch on this earlier. But Josh Cresswell has actually left the Junior Young Driver Program. So this will be his last weekend with the academy, I'd imagine. Because here we go. Here we go then. 25 laps of racing action about to get underway once these drivers settle onto the grid. Okay, so Lucas Courtin on pole position. Just need him to grid up. And they are all there now. Off they go for the formation lap on this British Grand Prix. And I really wouldn't follow the AI if I were you, Stefan. But back to what I was saying. Lucas Courtin demonstrating some really nice pace in both Bahrain and Silverstone, so it should be interesting regardless. And Josh, of course, will be looking for a great result ahead of his home race here in Silverstone. Let's just hope they all make it through the formation lap. In terms of brake and tyre wear, I wouldn't say Silverstone is not in that sort of class. Well, tyre wear perhaps, but not braking, and it's probably not so demanding in that sense because often in Bahrain, you know, quite a lot of sharp corners, low to medium speed. Silverstone has a lot of fast, high-speed corners, which flow quite nicely when strung together. But obviously, it's a little more difficult in that sense. So setup is a bit more important. We're just waiting for Lucas Courtin, Josh Crashwell, and Stefan Gottwald to get themselves onto the grid. Oh my days. And curse of the commentator, they didn't make it past the formation lap. Right, this time, hopefully we get a race. Just waiting for them all to grid up. And away we go for the British Grand Prix on the second restart. Finally, we're going to hopefully get some action this time. But even though I think it's because the PLR file was changed at the last moment due to some issues with the mod not loading. But this time we should finally get some racing. Just waiting for them all to get onto the grid.
On his tweets the other day that he would get a podium this weekend for his dear friend Jules, how dearly he would love to be on the podium today.
And here we go. So Lucas Courtin, his second pole position of the season, and looking to make it 3 out of 3 in Season 2. Second is Josh Crashwell, yet to score a win, but with some very encouraging pace indeed. Third is Stefan Gottwald, who's struggling with his controller, but could consistency be the vital key ingredient in securing a decent haul of points? Just making sure everyone catches up. Lucas Courtin into pole position very early, seemed to ignore messages there. But they're all getting ready onto the grid. I would hope so anyway. Just forming up at the back. Don't talk in the middle of the race. As they all line up. for 22 laps. We're all done out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. And it's go! Lucas Courtin with a very slow start, loses traction. Josh takes the lead. And oh god! Already contact. And Stefan goes into the back. Lucas got away very badly indeed. And now Stefan Gottwald battling up with the AI. And it's Josh who leads, coming out of the Magnussen Beckett. Ghana Junior Egwald. Now getting a slipstream down the hanger straight. Is this going to be enough? Oh, he bumps wheels going down the inside. Oh, and he goes too far. And he spins it as well. Lucas Courtin now heading through this middle sector, trying to chase down Josh Crashwell. Crashwell lost a lot of ground, it has to be said. And there's the gap. There is Courtin. And there is Gottwald. Struggling with the controller at the back, under the bridge for the first time. And Cresswell already has a healthy advantage over to second and third and fourth, fifth. Oh, there's a good battle shaping up there between the Suomi Ice junior team and the Bad Toro car. Now, is Lucas Courtin going to make up enough ground? He's all over the place. Don't think there'll be AI for the second race, but coming up through Cops, nearly had a move there. F1 Central, Relentless, and Josh Crashwell still leads. Crashwell down the back straight. And Courtin struggling a long way back. But there is a round of pit stops, of course, to come. So could strategy be the defining call? Crashwell locks up, going into that tricky heavy braking zone.
Pace and is very well deserved, absolutely.
A brilliant drive. I'm not sure if did they tell him he was champion or did they just say he'd won the race?
Going through this final sector now. And Josh being harassed by the Relentless junior car behind. He's going a bit slowly and struggling a tad in this last bit where traction is key. Going down the start-finish straight for the second time. Ending lap 2. And the Ghana Junior sets the fastest lap of the race. Then it's Egwald, then Cantos? No, Ricardo, Cantos, Gash. And Lucas Courtin ahead of Stefan Gottwald. Let's just see how that happened. Let's just see where Lucas passed Stefan there. Looks like it was into Stowe. Oh no, we had a... Oh, ooh, Stefan lost it. And yeah, almost handed that to him and he's quit the race.
From your channel.
First retirement. As Josh Cresswell, we turn our attention back to the fight for the lead. Josh still leads on lap 3. Coming through this final sector. Braking now.
Champion, folks. Jolyon Palmer. In the dams. The first British GP2 Series champion since Lewis Hamilton in 2006.
Coming across the line, Cresswell finishes lap 3 and he's now got a very good gap indeed. So let's go back to Lucas Courtin, who's starting to catch up a little more. Still a long way to go. Going through Maggots and Beckett's. Out towards the Hanger Straight. Josh has a 1.8 second lead and a 13.5 over Courtin. Down into sector 2. Oh, is that the AI losing it a bit? Coming towards the bridge. They're on the super soft. Courtin really struggling. And he needs points. Desperately. Coming through this final sector. Only retirement so far is Stefan Gottwald. As Josh ends lap 4. Let's just take a look at the gap now. 3.5. And where's Courtin? Where is Courtin? There is Lucas Courtin, your Bahrain race winner and championship leader. Still got a long way to go. And anything can happen, although Crashwell cannot see anyone for some way in his rearview mirrors. Coming into Stowe. Locks up the rears. And into this tricky section where traction is pretty important. Locks up that front left on the exit. Needs to keep it clean, not too much wheel spin. And it's a good exit. 13.6 to Courtin now. So he's dropping back lap by lap. And the AI cars are also enjoying a decent battle. With the F1 Central eyeing the relentless Junior Academy. Oh, catching a drift there. I'm going to see any moves coming into the tunnel. Courtin actually seems to be gaining a little coming through the tunnel section. And if he can get past these AI, he can definitely challenge Josh, who locks up and loses a bit of time into that final corner. Let's see the gap now. What's it going to be? Oh, it's even bigger, isn't it? 3.2. I think he lost a few tenths. Yeah, lost 3 tenths on that lap. Let's see if Courtin has closed the gap at all. Certainly seems a lot closer. And it's now 13.4, so 2 tenths gain that lap. And if Josh makes a mistake... Did he run wide a bit there? Let's just take a look at the replay. Coming into Maggots and Beckett's. I think he did that in quali as well. Ooh, yep, way too deep. Luckily he doesn't hit that curb, as I've said so many times. Because that could have been much worse. And now Lucas Courtin making progress and fighting up through the field. If he could win this race, this would be great. He can also still get reverse grid pole, don't forget. But I think that will go to Stefan Gottwald. As we now ride through this middle sector. And Courtin visibly closer now to this pack. While Josh continues to pull away up front. Doing a decent job. He'll be driving with Martini Skid Marks Racing, his new team, in IS1 tomorrow. Coming through turn 1, now 3.1, so he's losing time is Josh. I wonder if his tyres are starting to burn out a little bit. I think Courtin's made a mistake somewhere. He has, because he's dropped off the back of the pack. Let's just see how Josh gets on, coming down the Hanger Straight once again. Coming through this middle sector, Josh perhaps starting to be a bit more ragged and on the edge than we would normally see him. And that is all but showing. And we're nearly at half race distance. Josh still leads after a poor start from Lucas Courtin, who currently is gaining up ahead. Through the under the bridge again. And coming towards his look, you can definitely see he's closer. You can even see Josh now up in the distance. Oops. Lap 7 complete. Where is Courtin going to be? And it's the fastest lap for Lucas Courtin at 1:27.3. Now is when he puts the hammer down. Some slow AI cars up ahead coming through Maggotts and Beckett. And Josh Crashwell coming towards Stowe at the moment. That's just a comparison for you. Let's just have a little look at the gap visually. Here is Courtin. Where is he? There he is on a mission. Josh already coming towards this final sector in a few moments' time. But the gap is significantly smaller than what it was earlier. There's Lucas pushing like crazy. You can see the oversteer. Good save there from the Relentless Academy driver. Up towards... Yes, he's definitely gaining here. This is where the AI all slide out. And I think this is where Lucas Courtin's going to get his opportunity to shine. Because he was 3/10 up in qualifying. And he should definitely be up there for race 2, if not this race. Coming now towards the second to last corner. Now through the final corner, Josh Craswell finishes lap 8. And let's see where this puts the others. Lucas Courtin, 5 point... No, it's not Lucas Courtin, sorry. Let's just see. Still 14.3. He hasn't got a fastest lap just yet. Still pushing though. On board with Lucas coming now through Maggotts and Beckett. Flat out, committed. Shifts down again, then down another, down to third now. And running just a actually doesn't go off the track, which is pretty good. Gathering what we saw with Josh doing earlier. And it is easy to do. Breaking down into Stowe. Any moment now, there goes Lucas behind. In the background, you can just see on the rear wing of this Suomi ice car. Under pressure from the bad Toro. That's going to be something that Lucas Courtin will need to make note of. As Croswell now comes under the bridge again. Remarkable consistency after Bahrain. Well, everyone was all over the place, if I'm honest. Croswell. Where is Courtin? There he is. And, oh, he can smell him now. He's got to get him in the next couple of laps. There are 2 main points where the AI struggle. Perhaps towards in the first couple of corners. And that last sector before the bridge, they all power slide out. But now, Lucas, is this going to be a fastest lap? It certainly looks like it, the way he's caught up. And it's gone down a tenth. Let's just see if he gains much through turn 1. Oh, and he loses it. Courtin loses it. And, oh, keeps it out of the wall. Just. And he retires. Oh, that's ridiculous. Josh Craswell now pretty much guaranteed the win. I wonder if that was a game crash because he left instantly. Whether that was in rage, I don't know. Josh Craswell coming to the line to win in Silverstone. Well, this will be his last lap. For Josh Crashwell. And we have another shortened race in Season 2. Finally, Josh
User disconnected
comes
from your
back
channel.
after a disastrous start to the season. Riding through down the hangar straight and towards Stowe. He runs a bit wide, but I'm not sure he's going to mind now. He's 6 seconds ahead of his nearest rival. Nice balance through here. Brilliant improvement. Many questioned him after Bahrain and indeed in IS1, making way too many mistakes, it's argued. But now, just a sector or so remains for Josh Crashwell. Under the bridge for the final time. Braking now. And he's just got a couple of corners to go. And a crucial win for Josh. When he definitely needs it. Out of the final corner, the fans are on their feet, and it's going to be Josh Cresswell who wins in Silverstone. And what a win for Josh. We'll be right back in a moment, and then it will be time for race 2. Don't go away. So Josh Cresswell is the first winner. He takes his first win of the season. And AI will not be included. Right, so Josh got a very good start. Just waiting for people. Oh, I need to rejoin. Hang on. Okay, race 2 coming up in a moment. Right, race 2 starting in a moment. I'll just go back to streaming in a sec. Right, Lucas Courtin just joining. Right. Race 2 in a moment, just adjusting stuff. Right, I'm just waiting for everyone to set their fuel, and then we'll be back underway again.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
So, race 2, about to start another 12 laps. And it'll be Lucas Courtin on pole position for taking that crucial reverse grid pole after a unlucky race. Incorrect grid positions. Hang on. Right, one moment. There was just an issue with grid positions being wrong, but that will soon be fixed. Edit grid 1.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
Right, race 2. We're just waiting now for the start of race 2 and the formation lap will follow. And Lucas Courtin taking the vital reverse grid pole after a disastrous race 1, where he made contact on the first lap after some lag and then had some more issues. But race 2 firmly now getting ready to get going once more. Warming up the tyres. Cresswell, after a great first win for him, the race was shortened and red flagged after there weren't enough drivers to finish, but here we go. 12 more laps, ignore the lap counter at the top. We will stop at half distance. No AI, so we can just see who's got the best driving. That's the whole point of IS2. It's not about numbers, it's about seeing who's got the talent and who needs to improve, and it's about helping these drivers get used to being consistent with slightly shorter races, being able to race side by side with people their level. This is not representing IS1 in any way, shape or form. Right then, down the back straight towards the tunnel, and we can get going again once more. Under the bridge. And we'll be looking to see who gets the best start, because now Lucas shouldn't have so much lag. And it should be interesting to see the battle between these two, because they've been so close in qualifying. And you'd expect it to be close again here for race 2. Just moments away now. Just get to the right camera. Oops. Just waiting for the lights. 3, 4 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. It looks as if Lucas has got slightly less wheel spin than Josh, but he's going to be close as they ride into turn 1. Josh actually gets an appalling start, complete contrast with what happened race 1. But Lucas leads into Maggots and Beckett's. Josh lurking ever close behind him. The dirty air will certainly have an effect on his downforce through this sector. Lucas, bit of a lock-up actually when he gets on the brakes, and he'll be under pressure from Josh by the end of this straight. Definitely. And who's gonna close up under braking? Lucas already having to go defensive on the Zero Academy driver, who will now be leaving that team come the end of this race. Lock up from Courtin will give Josh hope as we ride on board with race 1 winner. Down the back straight he goes. Has Josh got slightly less downforce? And is that contributing to better straight line speed perhaps? Or is Lucas just struggling under pressure? He goes a bit deep. Josh, saves it. Squirming as he goes through the chicane before the tunnel. Now this fast sector. Lucas runs deep. Josh has got better balance here. And traction is going to be vital. I wonder if Josh is using assists, because he's not usually close to Lucas in IS1. And he's got superb traction coming through here. As we ride down the start-finish straight, we're finally going to see a battle, I hope. Hitting the bollard, Lucas Courtin, as we end lap 1. Just 4 tenths separate the pairs. They ride into cops. Josh carrying perhaps a bit more speed. Riding over the curbs, luckily he did not lose it there. And then through Maggots and Beckett's again. And we haven't really seen any battles in IS2 up until this point, so this is bound to be interesting. See if Courtin can hang on to those precious points that he needs. They'll only get points as if it were 2 sprint races, because race 1 was shortened to half distance, so they'll get the same points as they would for sprint race in these circumstances. They're carrying slightly less fuel, remember, so the times should immediately be the same as they were at the end of race 1, except the tyres will be fresher, so they should, in theory, be going quicker. Almost quali pace, you would expect. And Josh clipping that apex to perfection, but he loses it and he spins out. And he's got to get it back on the road. I just cursed him, haven't I? I just said we were going to get a battle. And now Lucas Courtin will surely pull away up front, provided he doesn't make a mistake, because Josh is definitely quicker. You can see he's got more confidence just driving in general. And Courtin will end lap 1 with a decent margin, and the fastest lap of 126.5. Josh won't get the fastest lap this time around, obviously. So let's see if Josh can beat that. Pole position was a 25.2. So let's see if Josh can get closer to that. There might be points for fastest lap, I can't remember. I don't think there will be, no. Lucas running over those curbs, that's going to hamper his speed a little, perhaps. Don't think again. Nah, yeah, he's lost a few miles an hour down the straight. So that's already disadvantaged him. 6.4 second gap. Let's see what it is by the time they end this one. To Stowe. And now braking. Again. See any lockups? No, I think Josh might. Is Josh using any assists? Because this is unlike him. Coming through. This middle sector, very tricky. Josh gets it. Middle one. Now braking. Heavy braking, in fact, down through here. Misses the apex narrowly. Gets on the curb. Don't spin it here now, Josh. And he keeps it on the road for the time being. Courtin now. Powers through this final sector. Let's see what the gap is now when he comes past the start-finish straight. Oh, when he gets on the curbs. That's lost him time. Definitely lost him time there. Let's see the gap now. It is 5.2. So definitely making some ground up. Making it brown now. Now through Beckett, Courtin, keeping it on the road. Not running too deep. Let's see how Josh does. Actually, he's closed, hasn't he? Under the bridge. Let's just see the gap now. Remains roughly the same, if not slightly more, as Lucas got the pace again. That's right on board with Bahrain double winner. First gear coming into that corner. That's interesting, seeing as the traction on this mod is not great. Down the back straight. Coming now. Through here, gets the apex. Avoids that curb, which is probably wise, gathering what happened earlier. And Josh runs very deep. Let's just get a replay of that. Looks like he had a lockup. It's quite easy to do coming into this corner because it's kind of turning left. Yep, locks up badly. But it didn't go off the track, luckily for him. Courtin now comes through this final corner. I'd imagine he'll have pulled away a little bit now. And it's now going to be, what's the gap? 6.0. So he gained a lot of time and then lost it with that lockup. And I think Lucas is perhaps pushing a little more now. Riding through Maggots and Beckett's once more. And this is where Josh needs to push. Ooh. I was expecting him to be a passenger and lose it there, and he runs over that curb. Oh my. I was expecting a spin there. 8 laps remain. Third of the way through, and Courtin definitely holding his ground. Let's just see the gap to Cresswell. Still roughly the same. Josh needs a bit more. Might be 5 seconds and a bit now. Decreasing slightly perhaps, but we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely made up some time. You can see it as well. Much more confidence as he comes through this final sector. Riding over the curbs. Let's just see the advantage now at the end. And just lap, and it's going to be slightly less, I'd imagine. 4.6, the fastest lap, 25.9. Blistering pace. And I think Josh is carrying a bit more fuel as well, unless he changed it with a few seconds to spare. Because Lucas said in the chat he was carrying about 61, 63 litres or something. But now Josh catching rapidly with 7 laps remaining. And you can see him definitely now. Josh isn't on the racing line. Why is he not on the racing line? Oh, kind of half on it coming into Stowe. That's why he's losing a lot of time. Oh, lock up from Courtin. Could see the tyre smoke, and Josh locks up a little as well. Lucas Courtin under pressure. Coming now towards the tunnel. Swooping out here in 6th gear. Oh, did he lift a bit? I don't see that in the IS1 mod. Maybe these cars just have less grip through there. That might I don't know personally. Didn't see Josh, but Lucas, see the gap now. Oh, Josh, getting very hairy there. Coming through the final corner. Let's see the advantage now. Has Lucas responded? Is this going to be another fastest lap? Don't think so just yet. And he's 4.2 seconds behind. Needs to pull out something substantial. Coming through here, goes in 5th gear. Maybe may have been a double downshift, or has he got auto gears or something on? Through Maggers and Beckett's, just watch the dashboard down to 5th and 4th, 3rd. Got to squeeze on the exit, a bit too deep. Let's just watch Lucas Courtin, see if they take different lines through Stone. Yeah, Lucas uses the normal racing line, and Josh appears to just kind of go, oh, he's on the racing line now. He wasn't earlier, which is odd. Taking a lot of curb, easy to lose it there. Pretty risky. As Courtin now comes to down the back straight. And still a big green dot for Josh. 4 laps in a minute. Less than that, 3 laps. And he's got to make some big gains soon. And he rides over that curb and he rides over the other. Scrappy, but he must be on the limit as Courtin now runs onto the other curb. And that is the one that really catches you out. And now Josh. I wonder who lost more time. I'd say probably Lucas. But Josh hit 2 curbs. Could have very nearly ended in the gravel right there and then for Lucas. Let's just see the gap now on after lap 7. And it's 4.4. Courtin finally responds. Or is he just not making mistakes? In his last race, 4-0, coming down the straight. And is Cresswell going to make a move in the next few laps? Is he going to close down enough? Are we going to see a mistake from Lucas Courtin? Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but there's another lock-up. We've seen both of these drivers. Oh, Josh, not so much. Wonder if he's got ABS. Or just different brake pressures, probably. Or bias. As we ride on the rear wing of Lucas Courtin. Definitely doing a good job. Riding over the exit curbs, but not nearly as bad as before. That could have cost him a lot more. Josh perhaps not carrying as much speed through there, didn't seem to be as on the limit. Final corner. And let's see, riding over that final curb. Lucas has done that quite a lot, using all the track he possibly can to that bit. And let's just see the advantage now as he rides into Cops. 4.5. Josh is starting to drop back. But only a 10th or so a lap, which is, you'd usually expect a lot more mistakes from these guys. They are learning. Most definitely. And of course, if they don't win an IS1 and IS2 today, there's always the IS1 League tomorrow. Top division. And IS1 drivers will be looking at the times from this. These obviously have much more downforce. But the traction on this mod isn't great either. So it'll be interesting to see the difference in times. It's coming through this middle sector. Josh trails behind. Looks like Lucas has just got a couple of laps to go. And he can take his 3rd win of the season. Both weekends have been shortened, but this should be Lucas's. Unless... And oh, I say that. He does make a mistake. Josh, has he closed up? Let's ride on board with the Zero Academy driver. Lucas ends lap 9. On to lap 10. Josh is 5.2 seconds behind. He's lost a lot of time. 6th gear. Not going into 5th. Looks promising. Into 7th now. He's done 9 laps. He's on lap 10 now. Just a couple more. into third. Doesn't use too much on the exit, but he turned in pretty early. Lucas Courtin, meanwhile, coming through Stowe now. Crashwell just behind him. Oh, and Lucas squirms on the exit. Nearly lost it there. And it's very easy to do. We saw Felipe Massa do it in 2013 and indeed 2014. Coming through that corner, if you take too much curb, you just fly around, smack into the wall. Even Will did it, I think, in IS1 practice for this season. Lucas still leads. He's got one more lap. Here he goes. .7 is the gap, so Josh has found a bit more time. That's the final lap for Lucas. He's just going to add to the pressure. As he comes down the hanger straight for the last time, he'd have to make a big mistake now. And for Josh, he just has to hang in there and hope for something. Because we do see these guys spin a lot. Stowe, this is a crucial corner. Keeps it on the road. So does Josh. Riding over the curbs. All Lucas has to do is just a half a lap without incident, or major incident, I should put that. Josh Crashwell. His chances are fading, and it would take a spin now, really, for Lucas to lose this race. Just a couple of corners remain for Lucas Courtin, the relentless academy driver, and a crucial weekend where he could see his future change to join Relentless in IS1. It's going to be his third win of the season in IS2, and it'll be Lucas Courtin who wins in Great Britain. Fantastic drive. And they ride side by side. Good respect between these two and the two championship rivals. Lucas had to win that race, really, to put himself back into contention, and he did exactly that. There's something on. Two Maggotts and Beckett's just won. And what a win. There's going to be some donuts, clearly, at his home race. Josh Crashwell celebrates for the fans. And what will he do with his new team? This is where Josh Crashwell leaves. 0. Lucas doing donuts? No, he's not. Josh is going to keep trying. What a way for him to bow out. He's had a great weekend. And thank you very much for watching here in IS2. And we'll be back tomorrow for the IS1 League live on www.isamcarracing.liveraces.com for live timing and scoring and the 8th round of the World Championship. Goodbye.